Ooh, I gotta back all the way up to get this big monster in the frame. Believe it or not, this is the 2015 Ford Expedition. Why do I say believe it or not? Because compared to other cars that are coming out now, this one looks kind of plain from the outside. And frankly, kind of ugly. But you can't judge a book by its cover. I'm gonna get inside and give y'all a look of it and see what Ford has done for 2015. So yeah, this is the 2015. So I gotta say, I'm a little underwhelmed. And I'll give you a tour of why I say that. First of all, let's knock out the features. Do I need to point this out in every video at this point? Power windows, power locks, automatic lights. Most higher trim vehicles have that. The only way you won't have that is if you're looking maybe at a super cheap compact at this point. On the wheel, all the usual controls, phone, cruise, everything. The wheel is not wrapped in anything fancy. Pretty much a basic steering wheel. The Ford odometer setup, speedometer, with a little digital computer in the middle to show you things like how much fuel you have left until you need to refill. Oil life, digital speedometer, all that's there. Huge armrest with a USB connector and space for whatever you want to cram in there. Cup holders, nice and large. Ford sync system. And that's it for all the main details. You know, everything you need for driving pretty much is included. CD player, climate controls for the rear and front, but nothing fancy. And the basic Ford setup. This is usually how a Ford radio looks if you don't get that touch screen with the Sony stereo. If you look at my Ford Explorer review or my Ford Edge review, and I think the Ford Taurus, they all had that beautiful big screen with the Sony sound system. I love that version of the Sony radio. This is the step down basic version that I don't care for too much. I feel like it's kind of too cluttered with all these numbers over here. I guess you could dial maybe, but it's like impractical unless maybe you're a passenger. If you're a driver, you can forget about trying to reach over there and dial that. What's the point? You probably use your voice commands anyway at that point. 12-volt charger up front in the glove compartment. So this is where I'm underwhelmed. The materials, plastic. This is kind of a rubber material down here, but up top, hard plastic. And that's, kind of what was standard in these super large SUVs. Like, even though the Suburban had hard plastics all around, but things ain't the same no more. Ford, y'all been knocking it out the park, but y'all dropped it on this one because the new Suburban, the interior on that thing kills this one. As far as the materials and the way it's designed, way more modern looking than this Expedition. So I can't praise y'all like I've been praising y'all on all my other reviews, because y'all slacked on the Expedition. The design is pretty unattractive, actually. The way it looks too boxy and plain to me. It doesn't look too modern, and the materials are a letdown. I don't like that. That's just like a basic geometric shape on that door panel. I kind of like more streamlined, modern looking angles and curves on these accents. I'm not a boxy geometric shape kind of person when it comes to the interior of cars, because that takes me back to like the 70s and 80s. And I don't like that look. I like the more modern, curvy looks inside my cars that I drive. So, I gotta say I'm a little disappointed and surprised that Ford didn't do more with the Expedition. But maybe I can understand why. Maybe a lot of people don't buy Expeditions. I haven't really looked it up. Maybe the Expedition is not one of their more popular models now. Maybe people go to the Suburban more, so the Suburban got that The Suburban and Tahoe got that crazy refresh. But when you compare this to my last review with the Ford Explorer and how that one looked on the inside, and then see what they did with this, it's like, man, I'm sure it must have been an economic reason. Maybe people don't buy this super large vehicle as much as they used to because of gas prices. So they didn't really put everything into it because they felt like it's already a risky vehicle to begin with. I don't know. I'm making excuses for Ford to try to figure out why they did what they did with this. But considering how they've been really revamping their products and making them look beautiful, I gotta say this is very surprising. And I am disappointed that they didn't do more. Let's take a look at the room in the back. Yeah, I could have guessed that this thing was packed with room. No worries about my leg room in the back row here. Well, the middle row, I guess. And I can control my climate and everything back here. Media. And I have a charger. Not sure what that media actually controls because I don't see a DVD player back here. So, not sure exactly what that's for. Can you control the radio from back here, maybe? I don't know. Maybe you control your iPod or something when you connect it. We'll have to look that one up. I noticed this one did have a sunroof. I missed that when I was looking at it from the front seat. Here's the patented center console shot. You know, it's not bad looking. It's just pretty plain by what I'm used to now from these automakers. Third row back here with right now is folded down, so you get a lot of cargo space when you fold it down. But of course you can lift those seats up and have that third row, which will be a little less roomy than the middle row, but it's there. You all know how it goes with these vehicles. And there you have it. So enough of the outer appearance complaints. The main thing is, how does this thing drive? Well, I've been running across the roads in it for a little while, and I gotta say, if that's the most important thing, which it is, that's the best thing about it. The acceleration is nice, it rides smooth, it absorbs all the shocks. So, look at that. I just tap the gas and the thing takes off. It feels like I'm driving a much smaller vehicle than I am. And that's pretty good, considering the size of this beast. Yeah, it feels good when you drive it. So, as much as I knock the way it looks on the outside and inside, the drive is great. Sounds like I'm driving a diesel truck. So, the most important quality, I guess, when you're looking at a car is the way it drives. And that's fine. No problems there. The wheel handles nice and easy. I don't feel like I'm driving a big steamboat, which sometimes these large vehicles give you that impression. And this thing can really get up and go. Gas mileage, I'm sure, will suck though. But these new cars, you know, they'll probably get as much gas mileage as my old sedan, the way they build them now with these fuel efficient engines. Anyway, I like the way it drives, but it's down to the review time, huh? The score time? Well, I don't know. I feel like Ford could have done much more with this model. but they did well with the driving experience. So with that being said, I gotta give it a 3 out of 5. I think the Suburban is much nicer. The interior is much more modern looking. Less hard plastics used in it. But, you know, with Chevy and GM, you got all those crazy recall issues going on. So, it's tough. I mean, I would say if you want probably a more reliable vehicle that won't give you issues in this size, to go with the Expedition. But if you're like me, and you want a car that looks nice, because one of the things I always didn't care for with this size of vehicle is how they always use hard plastics, and they just didn't look too nice inside. And this Expedition carries on that tradition. Hard plastics all around, and it just looks so plain. But the new 2015 Suburban came in and really, I mean, they just jazzed it up on the interior on that thing. But they have so many issues, man, with the stalling and the. Just look it up. The Suburban is having crazy issues and being recalled all the time, but the interior is so nice. Anyway, I can still give this like a 3 out of 5. Maybe if you get a nicer trim, you can bump it up to a 3.5 out of 5. But that's mainly because I don't like the outside or the interior. It looks like a car from 1996 or something, and that's disappointing. If Ford had put more work into the body and the interior and made it look just a little more modern, this would be a definite recommendation. And I still have to recommend it based on the reliability, probably, you know. But I can't give it higher than a 3 out of 5 because I just expect a little more from the way the car is designed and the interior should look these days, because the American automakers have really been spoiling me lately. And this was like I said, it's a surprise and letdown that they didn't put more into the design on the outside and inside. I feel bad about it because it drives so nice, and I haven't seen any issues like GM is having. But you'll see what I'm talking about. Go look at the inside of that 2015 Suburban and the outside and compare it to this, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You know, it's a little underwhelming. Average car review guy signing out, you know, 3 out of 5. But if you're looking for just a straight reliable wheel driving vehicle, maybe you should go with this one over the Suburban because of the issues that they're having. I don't know. It's tough. 3 out of 5, man. Let me just stop. It's like I hate to give it that score, but I gotta do it, man. I gotta do it.